Hello, so this week I'll be talking about lens, laser engineered net shaping. So from the description, you can see that this process uses laser, and net shaping means that the final part that is produced by this method is net shape, so it's exactly the shape. So you don't have to do much of post-processing. So yeah, let's begin. So to introduce the lens system, you have two pictures here. So lens is very good and very well known in additive manufacturing of repairing of existing parts. So you can see that lens is here used to repair some kind of turbine blade, as you can see in both pictures. So I think this is a very unique feature of the lens system because not not I don't think there's any other additive manufacturing method that allows the repair of such complex geometry objects. So yeah. So the aims and learning outcomes of this episode is very much similar to the previous episodes is that I'm trying to introduce you to the laser engineered net shaping technology, to understand its process, to understand its advantages and disadvantages, and to also know its core applications and use. So hopefully you'll be able to achieve these aims and learning outcomes. So yeah. So let's begin with understanding the process of this method. So the material used in this method is a powder base. So the powder is fed into a nozzle, and in this nozzle a laser is shined in the middle. So the laser melts the base metal and the powder is deposited on this molten melt pool. As such, the part is built additively. So the feature that allows the lens process to repair components is that the base plate can move in different axes or it can rotate. So it allows the deposition of the powdered material onto surfaces that are not necessarily flat. So this is a very interesting feature. So now if we look closer to the nozzle, the very specialized nozzle, you could see that this is very similar to some kind of welding mechanism. So you can see there are delivery nozzles for the powder. There's also a nozzle for the shielding gas, and the laser beam is shined in the center. So this is like a laser cladding, a metal cladding kind of process. So yeah. So now let's move on to the advantages and disadvantages. So for the advantages is that the platform can move in various axes and various planes. So it allows the additive deposition of the powder and the melt pool. So it enables the repair of components. The second advantages is because that since it is like a welding laser cladding kind of process, the build rate of this method is very quick and a wide range of material can be used because you're basically just spraying the powder into the melt pool. So as for the disadvantages of this process is that firstly the such output parts from this process has a high surface roughness and the resolution is not so clear, mainly due to the spraying effect is quite random. And so another disadvantage is that it's probably quite hard to do overhangs structure because you have to build the support material. So currently I've not seen pictures that uses the lens technology and that shows intricate support structures. So yeah. So now let's move on to the applications. So as you already know that the lens system is very good for component repairs. So this allows parts to be repaired quicker as compared to conventional. Conventionally it would be quite difficult or almost impossible. Another application is that lens could be used to create like medical implants, like the entire bone perhaps. Next is in the use of is in hybrid manufacturing. So it's quite similar to like the repair application. So firstly you build the part up additively, and then you use the subtractive machining to ensure that the surface finish is very good. So this utilizes the advantages of both additive and subtractive manufacturing. So this is actually quite a promising application, I'll say. So yeah, moving on to summary. I'm not sure why, but this I'm feeling a bit tired on this video, so I'm not sure. So I'll just try to bang my head against the wall and try to get this video out. So I hope you learned a bit about the process of lens, even though I'm not very sure on this technique. And I hope you know its advantages and disadvantages. I searched them on the web and application relating to it. So I hope you enjoyed this episode again, and thank you. And next will be the references. So once again, I have to say that I thank all the references, because all the images that I use and all the information that I use would not be possible without these references. So firstly is by Automac, which is the inventor of the lens process. Then by Dean Ziegler. So it showed us, I think, how the process of the lens system, and also by the Julie M. Schoonung research group that also shows a more detailed view of how the lens nozzle actually works. Then we have eFesto that gives me the information on the quick build rate of the lens system. So yeah. So moving on the reference, we have Wong and Hernandez that tells me about the advantages and disadvantages, and also the System Realization Laboratory by Christopher Williams, who also gave me information for the advantages and disadvantages of the lens system. Lastly, thank Automac again for their webpage on the core applications of the lens system. So I hope you enjoyed the episode 11 and stay tuned for episode 12.